Hey everyone, Melissa here and welcome back to my channel. So I have another layout today for the Hip Kit Club, and it is Challenge Friday over on the members forum, and today we have a challenge for the next week which is a recipe challenge. And so the items in the recipe are a multi-font title. So I've pulled the two figures from the kit. One will be from the main kit and one I think is from the embellishment kit. And I'd also pulled these puffy stickers because they have, I would interpret it to be that you could use one of these to mix in with your title as well, so one of these bigger words. We also have to have 2 to 3 photos, so I've got these two really recent photos of myself and my two little girls. We were ballerinas in our church Christmas show just probably 10 days ago, so I was really keen to scrap these, and the reason why is because we also have to use chipboard, and I just adore this ballerina and I wanted to feature her, so I'm excited to use that. Other chipboard pieces that I have pulled are the chipboard stickers, which are little stamps, they're adorable, and these chipboard stickers as well. And the other thing we want to use is a stamping element. So I've got the exclusive stamp set. It's absolutely beautiful. I've used some of it, as you can see already. And we are not to use any cardstock, so I wanted to have something quite soft and pretty, so I've gone with this one, which is called Stay Cozy, and I want to use the B side with these beautiful Christmas angels on it. And it's kind of like a jersey kind of pattern if it was knitted. And I've also got a pink card from the Pocket Life kit, and that's just because I want to pull out the soft pink tones in my girls' dresses. And what I'm thinking of doing is stamping some elements up here, and I'm also going to hand stitch these white lines just to add a bit more detail to that card. So I'm going to, I think, do my hand stitching maybe off camera because it's just really simple, piercing the holes in a straight stitch, and then I'll come back and get into my... Okay, so as you can see, I hand stitched along the lines on this Pocket Life card, and I wanted to use it because it's pink and it's beautiful. And I also fussy cut out some of the florals and the knitted kind of snowflake florals. I don't know if they're snowflakes or florals. I'm going to use them as florals. And I, like I said, I fussy cut out 3 of each, just to use as extra embellishments. And I've pulled some tissue paper out from my stash because I want to soften one of the photos that's going on this layout. Forgive my voice. I've got a coffee here, I've got water here, I've had the cold that my kids have had, and it's kind of stuck in my throat and my chest and giving me asthma. And so yeah, I've gone from like hay fever to now having a summer cold, which isn't great. So apologies in advance. This is quite a long video for me to voice over like this, so hopefully I'm going to get through without having to stop it too many times. So I've got my 2 photos. I did think about backing the second one with tissue paper as well, but I've decided to just use that beautiful pink pattern paper with the darker pink or red snowflakes on it. So just trimming it out. And then I'm going to distress the edges just because that's what I do. I distress the edges of that Pocket Life card as well. And there's my starting point. I want to have the stocking on that card showing, and I want as much of the hand stitching showing as possible. So being very aware of what I need for the recipe, I've pulled all the chipboard. I need to incorporate some stamped elements or a stamped element. I think I add a couple of words on this. I thought about adding some of the snow globe features like the trees or the house, but it wasn't going to work with the theme of this layout, which is really about our Christmas show. So I just stamped the word Christmas, and like I said in my previous video for Hip Kit where I featured stamping as well, these stamps are such good quality that you don't need to prepare them. For your first time of stamping though, I recommend you stamp it onto a scratch piece of paper, but I've just stamped directly on the card because I know these stamps are going to work perfectly fine with my ink. So when I'm working with these chipboard pieces, I'm generally going to pull off the adhesive backing, and that enables me to move them around. I do find that with stickers or chipboard and things, it can be a little bit stressful if you don't do that, if you're unsure of where you want to put things. So if I wasn't really heavily featuring chipboard, I probably wouldn't be too concerned about it, but because I want to use as much chipboard on this layout as I can, I'm going to pull the backing off and move them around. So with this beautiful ballerina, like I said in my intro, I really want to feature her. I just want to say that Kimberly, who's the owner of HipKit, her and Kim Watson designed this beautiful collection called Merry Everything, and I know that Kimberly puts some very special pieces in to remind her of her mum who passed recently, and this ballerina was one of them. So I definitely wanted to, keep Kimberly in my thoughts as I made this layout, and I guess in a way dedicate it to her, because she did such an amazing job with this collection with Kim as well. And when I worked with this ballerina, and I guess having myself as a ballerina, I definitely thought about Kimberly and how hard it is to lose someone at Christmas. So Kimberly, if you're watching this, you're in my thoughts and my prayers, and having lost my own brother-in-law only a year ago, it's our second Christmas without him now. He passed in October last year. I definitely I feel for you, and I know what it feels like. So here I've got more chipboard. This collection is absolutely beautiful. HipKit exclusives are my all-time favourite collections to work with. They're such good quality. And for this layout, because it's pink and girly, I decided to really feature the pink toned embellishments, a little bit of red, but just really play on that for this layout. So the other thing I've done is I didn't want to lose any of the embellishments, so I've gone with a pattern paper that is as close to white as possible. There were two choices. I think I may have shown them in my intro. There was another one with a lot of dots in a sort of a geometric pattern, but I decided to go with the soft, pretty, almost creamy based one. So I've cut those frames up. I sometimes find frames hard to use, especially chipboard ones. There's lots of things you can do with them though, but I decided to just feature them as layers behind my elements. I've got Brielle here as well. Do you want to say hello? Hi. So Brielle is the tallest little ballerina in the photo. And she is, how old are you, Brielle?
6.
She's 6. So she's off school now. School finished yesterday and went out for summer. I've also got Azaria here. Do you want to say hi?
No.
She doesn't want to say hi. She's 11. So once I decide where I want to put these, I'm committing to cutting them in half. It can be a bit scary, but I'm always someone that believes in making embellishments work for you. And why tuck the whole thing under when half of it can be used in another place on the layout, or even on another layout. So once I've decided where I want to put them, I am gluing them down. I've got that funny sort of piece left over from that pink and white one, but it's an odd shape and it's not really going to fit anywhere on here. I did think about using it, but it's not going to work.
Can I cook some potatoes?
So I've also got some little presents that I fussy cut as well, and just working out where I'm going to put them. I cut the pink ones and also some that have green with pink features on them. So I'm just a little bit distracted here for a moment. Okay, so now I am deciding what else to use. I think have I adhered that Oh Sparkle and Shine? I'm not sure. If I have or haven't, I have popped it up on some pop dots as well. And then there are these beautiful florals that don't really have pink in them, but they have red, and I think the pink and the red, well, obviously it works really well because it is part of the same collection. So that's one thing you can certainly do when you're working with these kits, is trust that all of the embellishments are going to work well together. Sorry about that. There's a notification. It's all go here. So that was a messenger notification. So once I know where these pieces are going as well, I'm adhering them. I know some people when they create, they'll just place everything down and come in later and glue it, but I'm the kind of person that once I know where something is going to go, I'm going to commit and get it down, and then I have to work around it or work with it. So it's a little bit like problem solving, I think, scrapbooking sometimes. stop for a sip of coffee so I don't cough. So these are some puffy stickers, and I have added them in. I'm not using the extra embellishments that are off the recipe in too full on a way, but I did need a little something else as well. And now for my title, I'm doing a mixed title. That's another requirement of the recipe. So these are some beautiful scripty font thickers. And you get a choice in whether you want uppercase, lowercase, and then some are more scripty than others. So I think I change it out in a sec, but I'm going with the word Christmas, and then I'm wanting the word show because it was our Christmas show. And so these ones are more solid, they're puffy as well, and they're just a beautiful rich red with some white detailing on them. And I've got one of those chipboard postage stamps as well. I adore them. Can't wait to make more layouts and projects with them as well. Doing the old ruler trick that never works for me. I know some people are very good at using their ruler to get their figures down, but not me. And just playing around here because I know what I want to say and I'm not sure if it's going to work. I probably could have planned this better and thought about my title more before I adhered everything, but like I said with problem solving, there's always a way to make it work. So I think I may have changed out the S there for that smaller one, and now getting the word show down. I could have cut this out, but I like to keep things pretty real here so that you can see that not everything comes together easily. It does take a bit of thought, especially because I'm wanting to mix the fonts, which is going to make it a little bit harder if you're going for a bigger title. But it's so effective and so worth it, and it turns out really beautiful. So wanting to add the word magic, because I think if you're a ballerina in a Christmas show, it's magical. What our church did was we did a Toy Story, and basically I was in this, all the toys came out of boxes and I was in the box, and the characters, they find this box on stage and they wonder what's in it, and they open it up, and in it is me as a doll, and then I come out, dance across the stage, and then my little girls and their friend, they come out and dance across, and we do a little dance, and then they go back in the box and I dance with the Spider-Man character, and then I go back in the box. So thankfully no speaking role for me, just dancing. I've done a couple of years of adult ballet. I stopped it for jiu-jitsu, but I just choreographed this dance and kept it very simple, and it was really, really sweet. And it was, in my opinion, it's more about the little girls getting out there than me. So I loved doing it. It was a small role and it was fun. It was really fun to get all girly and put on a tutu. So now I'm also adding, I think that might be a puffy sticker as well, but I wanted a bow on here just to be all girly. I'm now balancing out that floral on the bottom right with one on the top left and adding another puffy sticker phrase. I've got a chipboard heart there, and obviously now I think it's the next day. I left it, it was getting really late at night, and decided to mix it up with where I put these other pieces of chipboard, the leftover frames. Now in retrospect, I wouldn't have stuck that flower or snowflake on top straight away, because I thought I could have put the word our, and in the Pocket Life kit there are some smaller letter stickers, and I could have put the word Our Christmas Show Magic or the phrase Our Christmas Show Magic, but in the end I've cut it out because I couldn't make it work, but it's fine. Yeah, I might have put a smaller embellishment up there so it would have fit. So with these little gifts, I'm using a mix of liquid adhesive and pop dots. So I'd put liquid adhesive on the bottom of them and then put dimensional adhesive behind them, higher up present to lift them up. And I love how they turn out. And I'm just wanting to make sure that I get 3 of each flower onto the layout as well. So here, I've just said that I use liquid adhesive and pop dots, but on that sort of third one, I've just used the pop dots to lift it up completely. So I love the little touch that these add, and it's great always to be able to use pattern paper as an embellishment as well. So if you only get the main kit, something you can definitely do is go through the papers and decide which ones you would set aside for fussy cutting to make extra embellishments. So here I'm just adding some more dimensional adhesive just to lift up the petals on these flowers, and what I did was I glued the centre of the flowers and I leave them to dry while I go and work on something else, and when I know they're completely dry, which doesn't take that long with that Nuvo glue, I come back and curl up the petals or whatever element I'm working with and then put the pop dots behind them. So actually at this point loving how this is turning out. I'm so happy I went with kind of a monochromatic theme. I just think it's so pretty with the colours and the girls' dresses in the photos. Definitely very girly, very me. So I did debate about where to put that postage stamp with the house, and I've decided to put it on top of that Pocket Life card. So with this one I'm trying to make it work. Sorry about that. Another distraction, my husband calling me from the supermarket, so I thought I'd better take that phone call. So yeah, I don't know, I've scrapbooked for so long now that I just know what I like and I know what looks good to me, and I just do it, I guess. It's quite hard to explain. I've had a couple of people lately say that they would like me to teach some local classes, and I'm definitely open to that, but I would need to think about, you know, why do I do what I do? Sometimes I'm not really sure. So these are some phrases and word stickers. They are absolutely tiny, absolutely adorable, from Pretty Little Studio, and I think they're one of the few products that isn't designed by HipKit, and they work so well because they're just plain sweet and white, and they look really good. So I've added a couple of them, and I'll add a couple more in these frames very soon. Excuse me. So this little floral has gone off the bottom of the page, and once the glue has dried, I will trim it off. So here, like I said, if something's not going to work, I'm going to try something else. So that piece of holly and berries didn't really look that great there, but I will definitely come back soon with another piece. Tried that frame as well, but like I said before, it's a funny shape. Tried a die cut ephemera floral piece, but that also didn't work, and I really am trying to stick to the items on the recipe. Although in saying that, I'm adding another puffy sticker, I think because it was small and it just provided a third element of kind of florals like those other two chipboard elements. So here I'm adding my journaling, and it was always my intention to add it onto the card. So I have other photos that I will scrap of this as well. I've got some photos that my friend took from the actual, I think it was the show practice or from the show. She was sitting in the front and doing the prompting of the words for the actors in case they forgot, which no one did, but she took some great photos, and I'll scrap them as well. And my final touch, aside from some sequins, is to add some Liquitex white acrylic paint, adding a couple more words. I'm sorry about the banging doors, guys. I'm really sorry. It's just when you have a summer Christmas and it's the end of year and your kids are home, it's just all go. Excuse me. So adding the last little presents as well, if I can make them work. Trimming off the excess like I talked about before. And now for this Liquitex, my 4-year-old uses that bottle for a baby bottle, so it's getting harder and harder to get the lid off it, or the nozzle bit off it, or the dropper. And so I'm just dropping the ink on now, and as you can see in the final pics, it's not really full on, it's just a little bit of extra interest really. And so my final step is to add some sequins, and I personally think it's boring to watch people glue sequins down, so you'll see me soon speed this up majorly so I can get them down. Not adding too many, just going for the colours that are going to work with this layout. Now do make sure you head on over to the website if you want to get these kits. I'm not sure if there's many left, but there's not many, or if there's not many, you want to snap them up. And you know what, I know I say it every week, but if you don't want to miss a kit, you really need to become a subscriber, and I promise you, you will never ever be disappointed with a kit. Yeah, so that is my final layout, and I have a detail shot and some close-up shots coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for bearing with me with this horrible cold and funny voice. Take care.